Morning, everyone. Welcome back to Blakeslee Acres. I'm Joe. Figured I'd bring you guys along with me today. It's been a while since I've done a video for YouTube. Trying to keep the shop going and craziness of everything else, getting cold out for the farm. But today we are netting hams. Should be a quick video. We're netting hams to go in the smokehouse for the day, just in time for Christmas. So I'm using, it's a plastic ham net. They're pre-made nets instead of the cloth ones that you cut off and tie. Only reason I do that is time, saves me time. Usually I'm doing this by myself first thing in the morning before the rest of the crew shows up, just so I can get the smokehouse up and running and get stuff cleaned up and ready to go before we start our production day. So what I'm doing is I slide the nets in from the hock end, put that pointed down on the bottom, put 2 to 3 knots depending on the size of the hams. These ones are a little bit smaller. These were Idaho pasture pigs. So net them, and they're going in the smokehouse. Before I did that, I pulled them out of the brine tub and I gave them a cold water rinse to get any of the extra salt and curing everything off the outside. Puts out a better product that way. So that's what we're working on today. I am also going to kind of go over the Pro Smoker 300 SS with you guys now that I've had it, I want to say right around 8 months we've been running that. And for that hand load machine, so you have your home use. Next step up from home use is the hand loads. They have the 150 model SS and then the 300 SS. Now you can get that with manual controls, which that's just turning on the electric burner in the bottom and the stovetop burner that runs the sawdust pan and kind of letting it go. I'm sure it has a temperature dial on it of some sort. The model that I bought it with the cook and hold function. If you guys have not seen my last smokehouse video. Now the cook and hold function allows me to set certain parameters in the smokehouse, and with those parameters, I like my hams, I take them up to 155 degrees to get past lethality. But I don't want to take them too high that you're rendering all the fats out and making your hams really dry. I've seen that a lot. Different places. I've done it a couple times playing around with my smoke cycles. You don't want dry hams. So I take mine up to 150 to 155 to reach that lethality per regulations. We are currently also towards the end phase of getting our USDA certification for our shop. The last year, we've only been open for just over a year now. We have been running under a custom exemption. As you guys have seen in some of my past videos, we started out with this main part that I'm standing in now, built over behind me here off this wall. We put a 44 foot by 50 foot addition. Then there's also a 24 by 50 foot cattle barn. And we also this week started attaching the cattle barn to the building. We closed in the gap. It's a 15 foot by 24 foot addition. And that is going to be for an office space, storage space, feed, bucket room for the barn. We use these water resistant carcass tags with everybody's farm name, customer name, whatever they want on that, how we identify the animal. It usually has our invoice carcass lot number on it and the weight of individual ham, bacon, whatever it may be, used to identify. That's how we keep track of whose is whose and keep everybody's stuff separate and make sure that our customers are getting their own product back. No crazy real art to it. With netting them, the biggest thing is making sure your hock's down. So as it's cooking, everything kind of works its way down to the bottom. That's what I was told. I'm sure that there's going to be 12 different ways of netting hams. The last shop I worked at, they actually did all boneless hams because it worked out better for them and their setup, and they had a netting cone. So it's a cone that you could prop it on the wall, whatever, about yay long, and it goes down. And you slide your nets over it and you just run your hams right through there. It gets a nice tight net right on your hams. Only reason I don't have one of those is we're brand new, we're starting out. Might be in the books for later on down the road. Take you guys over here to the smokehouse. Okay, so this is the inside of the smokehouse. You can see it's got a nice smoke patina on it because we've been running it like crazy. The smokehouse is not shut down since not this past Friday, the Friday before. Today is Sunday. So we've been running it. By the time we're all said and done, we'll have run it almost 12 days straight for the smoke product. We've had some big batches of hogs come through our shop. And this is our only smokehouse at the moment. So how this works is it's got the sawdust pan down here. It's just a single stainless steel pan, and there's an electric stovetop burner down there that runs off this dial right here. That only runs for an hour at a time, so you got to be on it, make sure that it's going. It takes a little while to get those the sawdust, the moistened sawdust, to get really smoking. Usually you have about an hour first thing starting this up before you even get some smoke rolling into the product, which isn't a bad thing because that first hour kind of creates like a dry cycle, and it allows your product, whatever you have in there, if you plan accordingly, to dry with the heat from the burner. I usually set it on a lower temperature, give it that first hour to do like a dry cycle on there, and that dry cycle creates like a tackiness to the meat, so the smoke will adhere to the meat a lot better and more efficient. This also, I've just been playing with this recently, has this fan in the top right here. This fan creates a positive circulation inside the chamber, so you get a more even cook, more even smoke on all your product. The first couple months I really wasn't sure what that fan was for, so I didn't play with it a whole lot, but it also does speed up your cook cycles. When I first started, these hams were taking forever. I've gotten it down to about a 12-ish hour window depending on the size of the hams. These guys are smaller, so they'll probably be done in 8 to 10 hours today, as long as I'm checking this and making sure that everything's good. Another thing I found out with these pro smokers is 2 full pans, or filling that pan up twice, gives my product the right amount of smoke without giving it too much overpowering smoke flavor and overdoing it. So I fill it up full, as you can see, the first round, and then after that's burnt down, it takes a couple hours to burn that down. I pull it out and I'll top that pan back off to the top, put it back in, and that seems about perfect. I want to say it's roughly 5 to 6 hours of smoke per smoke cycle, depending on what it is. Sausages is usually 1 pan. Gives it a good amount of smoke flavor. Now, this is the cook and hold function. Kick it on so you guys can see it. So you can see it's flashing, so it's not started yet. So you can set your temperature. Right now it's set at 175. We're not going to go that high with the hams. I usually start them out at 150 for that first hour. And then you got your time or probe temperature. I have the probe set at 155, and then the cook and hold function is at 155. That runs off the probe. So when this internal meat temperature gets up to that 155, it will actually automatically shut down the heating element and the fan and keep this stable at 155 until I can come and manually shut it off. It's not as nice as truckload model. I've been doing some reading on those. I think we're going to be adding a second one of these in for the time being. We'll run with 2 of them for next year or 2 and then go from there. The price difference between this and the first-hand truckload model, I want to say, is like $25,000 or $26,000 difference. That's why we're going with that. Oh, I had someone ask about the airflow too, so that fan's part of it. And then there's a little hole in this door down here. That's how you can load your sawdust pan, and if you usually leave it cracked, it'll help draw that smoke up. And there is also that little box right there on the smokestack. That is an inducer motor for a fan that draws a slight draw up and out the chimney. Now the way I have it mounted up through the wall, a lot of times when the wind's pushing back this way against this wall, it will push the smoke back out the smokehouse. So that inducer motor does actually a pretty decent job of fighting back the natural wind outside to keep the smoke rolling out and not back into the shop. Every once in a while, we will have to kick on our exhaust fan up top there. So you can see, just gets a little smoky in here. But when you run a smokehouse, you're gonna have that every once in a while. Sometimes it's winter now, so our wind gets ripping pretty hard through the hillside that we're on. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys like a overview of the smokehouse, how it's been going with it, and kind of show you how I'm doing my hams before Christmas. I wanted to wish you guys all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in case I, for some reason, don't get another one out. I do plan on doing another recording later today for some projects that we've been working on over at the farm. So, as always, I appreciate all the followers that stuck with me this long. And if you guys could, if you're not a follower, like, comment, subscribe, share, and ring that notification bell. I've been trying to put out a little bit more shorts, kind of getting back into the content. Now we're slowing down a little bit in the shop. As always, I hope to catch you guys on the next one.